Uh, Welcome to the Adopting a Digital Strategy for Your Business from the Kamloops Central Business Improvement Association. Thank you for your patience. So I do see some people have already used the chat box. That's fantastic. If you have a look down at the bottom of your screen, that's where that little chat box thing is, and we're hoping to have most of our questions through there. Most of the time you'll find that if we have too much speakers on, there's a lot of background noise and we can't hear anything. So that's why we're doing that. I'd also just like to say sort of good morning to everybody. So I'm going to launch an anonymous poll for you all to participate in. It is anonymous, so we won't collect any information other than the answers. And it's just to sort of get to know you guys and see where you're all from. Does that poll show up for everyone? Hopefully. Yes, I'm getting some answers. That's awesome. So you'll see down at the bottom there where the chat box is, and that's where the poll is. I will have another one at the end, but this one is just to break the ice. And so far, it looks like we have some good answers. Very specifically, we've got 10 of 13. Let's close the poll, and I'm going to share the results of it because it's just an icebreaker. So, very interesting. What? No people wear their pajamas? That's amazing. I would have thought more people would have been wearing their pajamas.
I'm thinking that's what people admit to.
Good point. So I got a few more participants here, so we'll just let them in. So let me go down here. So thank you very much. Here's the team that has been working on this to bring you webinars, and hopefully webinars that you will find very helpful. So the Downtown Kamloops team. As the executive director, Carl Desantis is the official ambassador and spokesperson for Downtown Kamloops. Carl brings many years of influential leadership and experience to the KCBIA team. He's politically astute, business savvy, and delivers both passion and energy to our downtown. And that's very true. You can tell by his big grin on the photo. So handling events and marketing is Samantha D'Souza, and she's a marketing graduate from Thompson Rivers University. She loves the Kamloops outdoors and spends all of her free time either hiking or enjoying the local food scene. Ask her about any restaurants, she knows them all. And I graduated from TRU with a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree, and I'm applying my fine arts education to the administrator and membership services position at KCBIA. And my position was very new, so this is quite an interesting introduction for me. So the outline, let's just talk about what we are going to be presenting today. So in this webinar, Adopting a Digital Strategy for Your Business, let's answer the question, why digital now? We'll have some basic information on websites and offer reasons why social media may be for you. We'll also hear from 2 local businesses who have adopted a digital strategy, and then we'll also share the resources that we've collected with you. We'll have a chat box question and answer period near the end. So if you have your questions, please put them in the chat box, and then we'll be able to address them directly to the person who it is a question for, or general question, that's fine, but we'll get them all to the end. Mostly just so that we can keep on our timeline. So we're going to also have another quick anonymous poll at the end, and that's just to see how we're doing. And then finally, Carl will cover what's happening in our downtown Kamloops now, despite all the strange happenings. Okay, so, and I'm sorry that you guys are probably going to see my mouse moving across the screen as I'm trying to coordinate all the windows I have open, so apologies for that. So, next, why digital now? Big question. So the COVID-19 pandemic has resulted in restricted activities for people and businesses. This restriction influences the what, where, when, and how of Canadian consumption, and it increases the pressure to adapt business supply chains to a new format. So 36% of respondents conducted by Deloitte Canada say they're using self-checkout. I think most people know what the self-checkout is. And excuse me, 52% say that they're more likely to buy online. That's definitely increasing everywhere. And 13%, average monthly website traffic increased by 13% in March compared to February. I wonder what April will be like. Wow. So more businesses are online interacting with customers, are interacting online with businesses and research about products. So that's pretty big number and increase. So our next presenter is a wealth of information. So Jessie Faubert is, oh, wait a second. Go to the next screen. There we go. Sorry, Jessie, I kind of missed that. So our next presenter is a wealth of information. He is a proud entrepreneur, having created multiple companies in Ontario and BC. In the process of building companies from the ground up, Common Sound and Ninth Company, to name a few, he quickly realized the need for a strong digital presence. After struggling to find a local firm that offered what he wanted, he decided to venture into the digital marketing space and created Avenue Media House. So good morning, Jessie. Hopefully he'll pop up here. Oh dear. There we go. And Jessie.
I think.
Oh, there you are.
Thank you, Christine. Hello, everyone. As Christine mentioned, my name's Jessie. I'm an entrepreneur. I live and work downtown Kamloops. Proud to be here, but definitely feeling the effects of COVID. I run a couple of companies. One's Common Sound. It's a DJ company. We have DJs all across BC. Primarily, performing for groups of 150, around 150 or more. So you can imagine, crushed. I also run an artist management, creative studio, event production company. Other than the artist management, we were hoping to have our second annual Summer League block party, Downtown Kamloops. Obviously, that's not happening. Our creative studio, downtown on 3rd Avenue, is pretty much a ghost town until we get the AOK to come back. Other than our artists that have been utilizing our recording studio, things have definitely changed. And boy, has COVID kind of exposed where we're all at in terms of our business and the sustainability when it comes to crazy situations. So I don't have a lot of time. I'm just going to dive right into it. Usually I'll spend like an hour with a client just talking about Facebook, but I'm going to hit you with websites, social media, maybe some tips and tricks to optimize resources, and then also follow with a bunch of links. And hopefully I can be some quality content that's informative. And obviously, because of the time constraint, you can follow up with me. Happy to answer any questions, post video. I know there's a few of you on Zoom, a few of you on Facebook. but I know a lot of the viewership will happen after this live. So please hit me up. I'll be following up with more in-depth webinars following this, but happy to answer any questions and find ways that we might be able to help you and your company. So we're going to have a mixed bag, I know, of people that have an online presence and people that maybe don't have anything online. So I'm going to address both, starting with websites. Now, websites, those of you that don't have websites, I think it's just imperative. It's almost like a necessary badge that your company wears. Even if website traffic is not a part of your business plan, I think it's just so important for the sake of SEO, for the sake of kind of like an end stop for a sales funnel. You need to be able to point people to one place, and a website really gives you all the opportunity to be clear about what your brand is, your brand story, your services, your products, and places like Instagram and Facebook, although they can be a great resource and a great tool, it's really tough to fully show your potential customers or clients, who you are and what you offer. So, websites. What are platforms? We have WordPress. That's a long-standing tool. You have GoDaddy, who's a little bit newer on the website building, but makes sense through domains and ownership there. We, through Avenue, we really push the majority of our clients to Wix. Wix, in our opinion, super easy to work with. It's template-based. One of the huge takeaways for us is that once we make a website for our client, they're able to update it on their own. I know it's a lapse in opportunity on our business side in terms of maintaining and getting paid to maintain, but none of us are really into doing that. So why do something you don't like doing, right? So Wix is great. It has tons of modifications. You're able to integrate apps super easily. And again, just for us to be able to make a website and hand it off to the clients and just have them do the updating and really express themselves, I think is the key for us. So not to say that's the end all be all, though. Everyone has their cup of tea. There's a few other digital agencies downtown that do things differently. That's just us. We're about that easy life. It's necessary to have a website, but it doesn't necessarily have to be tough to maintain and keep up. So alternatives to that, Square. I know that I think Emily uses Square, Emily from Crooked Crown, who you'll hear from a little bit later. That's super great for a retailer to be able to have the way of capturing that money in-house and have an extension online, so that can act as a website. I'm pretty sure they offer free website shop if you're using their payment plans, their POS essentially. So great, cheaper alternative. A lot of companies won't need much more than that, so why not? I'm Anthony and Jardines, according to the website at least, use Shopify. Shopify is what we also use for our shop. Huge Canadian company. I have a couple friends that work there, so obviously it was easy for me to hop into that. What I do like about Shopify is its integration throughout other platforms, be it Wix for starters, Facebook, Instagram. I know Square also is super easy to integrate, but I think that using those platforms to integrate into other social media, super key, super simple, and we like to keep it simple. So that's that. Now jumping into social media. Obviously, as I said, the website's super key to have as a landing page, as a place to send people, as kind of the end of your conversion funnel. But you need to have social media. It's a place where you can tell your brand story. It's a place where you can create a community. You can chat with your community, really get to know your client base, know what they like, know what they don't like. And also, it's a huge driver for sales. So you need social media. What are platforms, general platforms? We have Facebook, you have Instagram. Those two, I think, are our strengths. That's what we always push our clients to. Obviously, if you're a B2B, you have to be on LinkedIn. LinkedIn also has incredible opportunities for targeting ads really specifically, a little bit more specifically than Facebook. So if you're into B2B, I think that's just a no-brainer. Twitter is great. Pinterest is great. And then obviously the audio platforms. So when it comes to podcasts or audio-specific targeting, that is a huge market, huge series of platforms that I think are underutilized. Quick story about Twitter. Twitter, for common sounds, like we don't use it. We're just there. It is just there. I think the last post might have been like a year ago. But in terms of our own personal case study, when Hockey Canada was coming with the Women's Worlds, someone from Hockey Canada made a post to Kamloops saying, hey, what are some great DJ companies in town? We had a great cosign. Someone tagged us. I got the notification via email, and that ended up being our biggest contract to date. So it's not necessarily about you have to be active everywhere, but you have to be everywhere, because that opportunity would not have come our way if we weren't on Twitter. And that's, everyone communicates in a different way, so it's imperative that you're just everywhere. Obviously, staying active and creating that community is key, but from our point of view, a great starting point is just being everywhere. Now, when it comes to optimizations, and the two case studies we have on right now, when it comes to retail, when it comes to the selling products, obviously Instagram, super key to have your store tied in with Instagram, so you can have a photo of a new product. People can click that product and it hyperlinks right to their website. Creating a no friction situation is so key. For those of you that are in the restaurant business or the food business, I think an underutilized new feature of Instagram is their food button that you can throw on stories. Personally, I'm a huge driver for shopping local, and I think Mitchie's has done a great job when it comes to delivery. For everyone, I always suggest shopping local and using local. But I do know that there's a few restaurants that I guess have the leeway in their margins to be able to use Skip or DoorDash. And DoorDash has recently partnered with Instagram, DoorDash and Uber Eats, but we don't have Uber Eats here, to have the buttons. So you can take a photo of, let's say you have a poutine or whatever, and you can hyperlink that to that item on DoorDash. So personally, I know how quickly I am to follow links on Instagram to clothing or products that I like, and I know that exists for food as well. So if you have the margin leeway to be using like a service that takes a little bit more off the top, DoorDash, utilizing that feature in Instagram, super key. Outside of that, you also have the swipe ups. I know that Jardines, they're above the 10K mark when it comes to followers. I know that was a huge driver for getting my personal page to 10K, to have that swipe up feature in the Instagram. That's not to say you can't have that, because Instagram, if you're below 10K, you can still create an ad that has a swipe up feature. Obviously, you're paying for it, but people just love the opportunity to read more. And I think, especially locally, it's just so underutilized. Please, for the love of God, utilize the swipe up function on ads. As it was mentioned, or it will be mentioned, COVID has pushed everyone online. There has never been more traffic. I know our engagements and our impressions have quadrupled, and a lot of that has been on stories. So, utilize the information that you have out there. Start using the functions that are built into these platforms, because they're there for a reason. Now, I know we as entrepreneurs don't have the luxury to be sitting down and creating a ton of pieces of content every day. And some of us don't have staff that are good at that or understand that, right? So what we've come up with a formula. It's based off of Gary Vee, who runs VaynerMedia. It's the fastest growing digital agency in the world. He was actually going to be a keynote speaker in Kelowna this year. I don't think that's happening, but essentially what he has proposed and built into their system is you create one piece of content. It's a pillar piece of content. So that can be a vlog, that can be a sit-down conversation, that can be a walkthrough of your store, if you're a product service-based store. From that, 30 minutes to an hour piece, you create a whole bunch of micro pieces of content. So that can be photos, that can be videos, that can be memes, that can be GIFs, GIFs, however you want to say it. From that one piece of content, you can create 10 to 50 pieces. Our template in-house here creates about 59 pieces of content from one macro piece. So that means one half-an-hour slot per week or per month, or whatever you can afford to give up as an entrepreneur time-wise, you create a ton of content across your platforms. And that can be your content for the week. So we found that a really easy way to scale in volume. Then you look at the data, you look how it's performing, you get a better understanding of what people really, what resonates with them, the quality, the content that gets the most engagement, and then also you can track what that content is doing on a sales perspective, right? Using Facebook Pixel or using Google Analytics. So yeah, that's a breakdown. I'm going to go deeper following weeks, kind of breaking down that model, how you can do it yourselves, how you can have other people, other creators. I mean, Kamloops is just filled with creators and really highly skilled individuals to help make this stuff happen. Because the idea of being on social, yes, it's to create community. Yes, it's to be, have brand awareness. But at the end of the day, you want to drive sales. You want to, drive up your bottom line. So it's there for a reason. COVID has shown us how important it is. And as much as people are going to bounce back and try and go back to their regular ways, people have created new habits around spending, and that's not going anywhere. Yes, they're going to bounce back, but at the end of the day, this new way of living is going to be somewhat integrated into our society. So we need to adapt. Now's the best time to do it. Get on digital, start making things happen. I know I breezed through that so quickly. I'm even losing my voice. So if you have any follow-up questions, or if you want to be a part of future webinars that are for free that I put on, please just hit me up. I'm in the comments, and we'll go into the Q&A. And listen to the success stories. People are doing it. People are rocking it in Kamloops, and we're lucky enough to have Emily and Anthony follow. So I look forward to hearing what they have to say. Hit me up in the comments. If you're on Facebook at a later date, I'm going to still keep my eye on it. Or you can reach me at info@avenuemediahouse.com. And I look forward to hearing from you. We can get through this. Kamloops can come out stronger. It's a matter of just acting. So act on.
Thanks, Jesse. Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you very much, Jesse. Am I still screen sharing? Oh, my goodness. Let's go back to this. And there we go. All right. So our next, our first local business case study that we have is Anthony Salituro, owner of Jardines Domaine and Viva Bridal, two very well-established Kamloops businesses. He's not only a business leader, but also an advocate and fundraiser for cancer. Anthony has raised almost $1 million for breast cancer research through the Pink Ribbon Charity Ball, and has won the President's Award and Young Entrepreneur Award through Kamloops Chamber of Commerce. Thank you very much for joining us today, Anthony. Hi.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, good morning, everybody. Yeah, I'll give you a little bit. Thank you for the introduction. That was lovely. I bought Jardines Domaine in 2000 and, gosh, I'm going to forget in a second here, 2010. So I'm 10 years now with Jardines. I absolutely bought a well-established business that started in Downtown Kamloops, still on the 200 block Victoria, a few buildings down where Ron Tanishi's office is. That was the original Jardines, which was Jardines Hardware. Then developing their business from hardware into sporting goods and then into fashion in the 70s. A little bit about our store, a little bit about our website, since today, I mean, our focus is talking about web-based business and social media. A few years back, it was not even in my vocabulary to discuss or look at the possibility of having a website. I think every time it came up in conversation, my take on it was, we're a brick and mortar store. It goes against everything we believe in, having this, a store, in the heart of downtown where our customers come in and they have an experience and they're able to touch and feel and have conversation and interaction with a sales associate that can, provide you with, amazing customer service. So, I mean, for me, it was, we always were saying, gosh, if our customer isn't shopping from us, they're shopping online or they're shopping out of town. And we just didn't, it was hard to, get into that mindset that, we needed that piece of business. So I was convinced about a year and a half ago to, finally take the plunge and open an online store or have a website. We didn't even have a website that led us to a homepage that said who we were, what we sold, where we were located. Obviously, we had a Facebook presence and an Instagram presence, but in terms of a website and a domain address, we did not have any of that. So we've only had a website since March of 2019. So or February. So we're only like, we're 20 months, sorry, not even 12, 13, 14, we're 14 months with a website. I mean, we started off slowly. We launched the website. We were really happy with the design of the website and we made it very user-friendly. We made sure that it was visually appealing to our customers. And then slowly we realized that, the importance of it. We had a ton of, whether it be local customers that shop in our store and we recognize their name and their face, that would say, hey, I saw on your Facebook, or I saw on your website this pair of jeans or this top or this dress. Can you tell me a little bit more about it? What sizes does it come in? How does it fit? So we just realized that it was such a key component to the brick and mortar store that that website, not only serviced, a whole new group of people, but also our local customers who may be sitting at their desk down the street on their lunch break, looking at our website and looking what we have to offer. It drew them into the store, which I didn't even think about that, but, just them being able to see our new product and our new arrivals posted on the website, they got to have a firsthand look at it before they even walked down the street, to come in the store. So, I mean, over this last year, we've had like huge success in the growth of not only our social media. Like Jesse said, our followers are over 10,000. I think today we're over 16,000. And I mean, there's all sorts of ways to grow your followers. We've made very, very we're keen on making sure that our followers are authentic. You know, I know you can buy Instagram followers, but I mean, in our type of business, we want people that are following us to actually shop at our store or on our website. So through contests and through you know, Instagram promotions that you can buy, advertising on Instagram, we've built up an amazing following, which of course, again, like Jesse said, linking these Instagram posts directly to our website with now a swipe up option. And it's amazing what that's done for us. So our web sales over the last year have gone, you know, from 10% of our sales to 20% of our sales to 50% of our sales. And now, I mean, today we're obviously looking with our stores locked. All of our sales are web-based with our door locked right at this time. The next point, you know, that I want to talk about with respect to having a website and having, you know, this social media presence during this time of COVID, especially with our doors locked, which is a key component, I believe, is customer service, because that still has to exist. You can't just have a website and an Instagram page with beautiful content and pretty pictures with no customer service. So, I mean, during this time with the doors locked, our Instagram messages are constantly going off. My notifications are turned on my phone, and whether it's, you know, 3 o'clock in the afternoon or 7 o'clock at night or 11 o'clock at night, people are looking at our content. They're looking at our website and they're asking questions. Can you tell me how this jean jacket fits? Is it oversized? Is this sweater true to size? Should I size up? Should I size down? When I'm looking at the picture, it looks more yellow than it looks on your Instagram story. Can you tell me a little bit about it? So customer service is key during this time. If you want to, you know, create sales and generate sales, I mean, there are people sitting at their computer at home and they're just ready to click and put it in their shopping basket. But they just need that little bit more information. So right now I find that we have to be on top of that. You can't just leave those messages sitting in your inbox, in your Instagram or on email. We are answering people like within minutes right now, just so that, you know, you're keeping that sale. So that's huge for us. Another thing that I think right now we really have to keep in mind is competition. And competition of the big box is huge. And obviously they're all online, whether it be Nordstrom, Hudson's Bay, Lululemon, Aritzia, all these big box. They're all there. They offer free shipping. They offer free returns. And I mean, as a small business, that's a lot to swallow right now. But we made a decision that the day we closed the store, which was March 18th, so well over a month, that it was all up to the success of the website. It was all up to the success of the Instagram. We sat down. We're lucky in our team to have an amazing girl that does our Instagram with us. And she creates amazing content, and we strategized and we put our entire website on sale. We took every single item that we could, that we had images for, and we, you know, marked down anywhere from 15% to 30%. We have offered promo codes for healthcare workers. We've offered promo codes for frontline workers. We've given people a reason to shop at Jardines rather than at Nordstrom or rather than at Aritzia. So the day that we did that, which was probably around March the 20th, the traffic and the sales of our website was like unbelievable. It was, you know, went from 2 days of crying to, you know, weeks of laughing, of excitement, of working, of chasing the customer and working hard and, you know, packing up orders and almost on a bit of adrenaline. It was quite exciting. So I really think that, you know, getting online is key if you weren't already there. But then on top of that, once you're there, you know, there's a lot more to it. You can't just, you know, sit back and say, nobody's shopping on the website today. You know, there's, you know, so many components to it. So I think right now, with our doors closed, I think we have to give people a reason to shop on our website. So, you know, those small discounts and maybe offering, you know, a promo code, or maybe offering free shipping where you can, is really key. The next thing that we found to be key is thinking outside the box right now. We're in a world that we don't, you know, with so many unknowns. How long is our door going to be locked? When the doors open, what's going to happen? What capacity are people going to be shopping in the store? Our whole spring inventory is based on a normal life. So a store filled with dresses, because we thought that, you know, people would be attending summer weddings, that they would be going to their best friend's bridal shower, that they would be going to the hospice fundraiser and the SPCA fur ball. So we buy our inventory every year based on what we know already happens in Kamloops. So now we have a whole year or maybe more of unknowns. Where are people going now? What are people wearing now? So I mean, for us, this couldn't have happened at a worse time. I mean, March 18th, a store filled with new goods for 2020. Our spring inventory arrives in January, February. And so here we are in the, you know, first 2 weeks of March, and we have a full store and the doors are locked. So it was time to think outside the box, and how can we move this inventory, and what can we do besides, you know, having a sale? So we've created a new product, which might be a big part of our website now, and might be a big new branch of our business, which is we've created curated boxes. We started with a frontline workers box. We called it a comfort box, and it was a box that you could buy for yourself, or you could buy for your daughter, or you could buy for your son, or somebody who's working in healthcare, who's stressed out, or is working on the front lines, and, you know, with all the products to come home and relax, a comfy sweater, a hand cream, a chapstick, you know, a neck roll. So we did that. And then last week we launched Mother's Day, and our Mother's Day boxes are, you know, have a dress in them, and a pretty bracelet for mom, and a pretty hand cream, etc. So we've developed this new product really that we didn't have before, and it's an opportunity not only to sell one product, but to sell multiple, you know, to group everything together, have it wrapped, you know. We're just taking, really right now, we're taking this to another level and giving people a reason to get something special for mom, rather than get it, like I said, at all of these other websites that are offering all of these, you know, packages for Mother's Day. So for that, you know, is, I think right now, like I said, it's key that we think outside the box, that we are, you know, chasing. Every day you have to stay one step ahead, you know, to make, you know, the important measures that you need to stay ahead and to stay afloat. I'm probably running out of time here. I'll just end with a few other quick things here. There was a few questions that were put on my platform today. One of them was asking about online before and after COVID. Well, like I've said, over this last year, we have really built up our online presence through our social media. I would believe is probably the #1 reason why our website is so successful. We've developed partnerships and friendships with some important influencers that have really helped us build our followers to over 10,000, and they continue to grow. But now, like I said, after March 18th, when the door closed, our online is, I mean, I can't really give a percentage, but because obviously it's 100% online, but the growth of online is way bigger than it would have been, you know, when the doors were open. we have our online divided into two with respect to where it's coming from. One is curbside pickup and one is being shipped out. And we see equally amount of, curbside pickup. So those are all our local customers. And then being shipped out, we ship I would say 50% of our online sales come from back east, which is phenomenal to see that, people are shopping, from Newfoundland, Toronto, small towns that I've never heard of, and then Winnipeg, Victoria, BC, Surrey, Kelowna. So it's great to see all of that. So obviously our online presence has really been key for us. And then lastly, how would I measure the importance of curating an online community? I think right now more than ever, that's really what it's all about. It's what we're curating every day on our Instagram and on our social media, and ties into this last part, what kind of content, videos and photos. And more than ever, your content is so important. I was never on the Jardines content before. I still have a hard time going on it, but I go on about once a week and people absolutely love it. They, if I'm silly, I put on a lady's sweater last week or 2 weeks ago and people absolutely loved it. Last week I did my Friday favorites and I showed a ladies romper and they said, Anthony, can you put that on? Which I didn't, but people want to see fun. They want to see exciting. They want to see, what we love in the store. It's so interesting when you do. Stories are so important now. Posting a picture on Instagram is one thing with a pretty picture of a new hat or a pretty picture of a new dress, but the content that you create in stories is so key. And we're trying to stay on top of that every day. I'm trying to go on and talk to people. I'm thanking people of Kamloops. I'm thanking our healthcare workers. I'm connecting with our community on a different level that I would have never done before. Which the last part of that is if we can give back to our community, which has always been a key part of my life, not per se my business, but I've always personally felt that one of the greatest accomplishments in my life is giving back to our community and being a part of fundraising and doing any sort of that type of work that we can is key. So, during this time, I think right now, people are touched by these, acts of kindness. So our few campaigns that we're working on right now include donations to the food bank. So, we've had this sweater box going here for about the last 10 days and we're close to $1,000 that we'd like to present to the food bank in the next week. So we're going to continue that strategy because it means a lot to everybody. So yeah, thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Anthony. That's fantastic. That's amazing what you're doing for our community. And I think it's incredibly important to remember now that community is everything for us right now. So yes, thank you so much, Anthony. And we'll have questions later on for you anyways. I see some have come in the chat room. So our next downtown business owner is Emily Sedgwick of Crooked Crown, a brand new gift boutique. The storefront was set to open in April of 2020, but they quickly had to shift their business to focus on providing gift options online. Sorry, I focused on a chat room here. So anyways, Crooked Crown has something for everyone with curbside pickup and local delivery options, and it's accessible to everyone in Kamloops. Emily, thank you for participating in our webinar.
Thank you, Christine.
There you are. Brought up to the top. Excellent.
So as Christine had mentioned, I was supposed to open my store April 16th was my planned opening date. And when all of this hit, we were actually in Vancouver meeting with suppliers and buying things for the store the middle of March. I think Anthony and I were passing ships. He was coming home from a trip and I was going there. And we just decided to halt everything. So we decided to launch everything online. And when I had originally done my business plan for Crooked Crown, I had initially had the idea of launching my business as my brick and mortar, primarily face-to-face customer service. And then it wasn't my plan to introduce my e-commerce site until October. When we decided to shift everything was going to get launched online in April, and I don't know when I'll be opening my doors. But we had chose Square as our point of sale system for processing payments, as well as to link it to our inventory online. And I wasn't thinking of using a system that I needed that was primarily for e-commerce. So what I love about Square is that I can process payments, I can track my inventory, and then I can link it to my website, which is amazing. What I can also do through my website through Square, so their website is processed through Weebly. And as Jesse mentioned before, it's very, very simple to use. It is just a template, so you can just drag and drop things in its place. And it also has the ability to connect to my Facebook and my Instagram. So once I get approved, once you link it, Facebook and Instagram approves your shop to make sure that you're selling within their guidelines. And then it gave me the opportunity to link my products back to my website. So what I love about that is, like Jesse had showed earlier, I can make a post about lotion or soap or candy, and I can tag it. And as soon as somebody clicks on that, it automatically prompts them to my website. So for my brand and my awareness, right now, Instagram has been huge for me. Being able to make a post and then be on my stories constantly throughout the day is extremely important to keep me top of mind for people who are shopping and browsing. And I've been really lucky to have people sharing my page and items that they've purchased from my store on their stories. I think what helps with that as well is people feel like they are rewarded when you reshare their content. So if somebody posts and tag you, they love to see it when you tag them and share it back on your page. So I found that that has been really helpful and has helped increase my reach, because I only have about 1,300 followers. And so if somebody else posts it and they have 800 followers, it's extremely helpful to draw that business back to me and those views. I also really love Instagram as a tool because it allows me to dive deeper into post insights. So the analytics of Instagram have been really helping me figure out what content people are liking, what I need to post, when I need to post. It shows me when I get the most post engagement. It shows me, I know that likes are helpful, but what I love even more than likes is how many people went to my website through a post, how many people shared my post with someone else or saved it. So for example, I made a post about a Mother's Day gift idea. And when I went into the analytics of that post, it was able to show me how many people shared that post with somebody else. And it was the most shared post out of any of my posts on Instagram. And what I'm thinking is happening is that somebody had saw that, they either want to buy it for their mom, or so they're sharing it with a sibling or dad, or mom's going, hey, husband or kid, I want this. Here, I'm just going to send you this little hint, because I do that often with my husband, and I hope he saves them all. So it's really helpful for me to go through that and see what people are really liking. I also love that I'm able to have a look and see who my audience is on Facebook. So Facebook for Business breaks it down really great for you, where you can see what percentage of your followers are female, male, where they live, their age range. Why I chose Instagram to be my primary platform is that I know that my target demographic is females age 25 to 45. And while they're not my only demographic, that is my target demographic. And that is where I can see all of those people. When I'm wanting to reach out to maybe an older demographic, that's when I'm posting on my Facebook. And I can tell from the insights that that is who is interacting with me on the different platforms. I made some notes for myself as well for what Jesse was talking about, you know, Pinterest and Twitter. I also set up, which what I think is really important, is people need to be able to find you. So when they Google your business, you need to be the first thing that comes up for them. And so if you don't already have an online presence, but you may be really seasoned in the community and have been around for a long time, it's really important that someone's able to Google you and either your Facebook, your website, or some sort of page of yours comes up first. I have signed up on working and getting my Google listing verified, which for everybody who is not working at your actual location, it's a little bit difficult because they have to send you physically a card to your address via the mail, and then you have to go in and verify it. But that's huge. People can leave reviews on your Google. They can find your website through there. Anything that will take you back to, or take your customer back to your website is so important. Yelp is another page that's free, and it's very, very quick to get verified. But again, something else where somebody can see what you offer, quickly look you up, and links back to your website. Another thing that I'll be doing next that I think is extremely important is using analytics from your Facebook, your Instagram, and your website to set up targeted advertising. So Anthony mentioned before about setting up different ads, and with all of the analytics that you gather from your website of who's going there, going to your Facebook, which I know Jesse can set you up with, is seeing who's there and who you're going to target that's already seeing your page. Then you can target ads that are specific to them, but maybe they haven't purchased from you yet. Maybe you want to increase your reach. So maybe it's now tourism season, people are here, and you want to target your ads to a specific location. So if I wanted to, the Hotel 540 is just down the street from me. I could target an ad that's just specific to people in that area of that hotel that normally wouldn't know that I exist. And right now, normally nobody knows that I'm existing because I'm fairly new. And then what I think is extremely important and I'm really missing out on is building relationships with people in the community and just increasing existing relationships, creating new ones. So I'm really looking forward to when this is all done, being able to expand that. And looping back to my Instagram, I really want to do a giveaway. It's something that I haven't done yet. I'm really excited to do a giveaway with like a like, comment, and share. And what I think is really cool to do with that is pairing with other local businesses and driving that traffic collectively. I love the idea of collaboration in the community. And I think it's really cool when I see other downtown businesses all pairing together. I know that Megan's on here from Main Street. I know that she had just collaborated with other local businesses for a giveaway, and I think that's really important. And what's really strong about that is, again, you're increasing your reach when you're all collaborating and doing it together, because it's not just one business's followers. You're able to then reach out and get reach into what their target audience is and who they're following and bring it together. Christine and Sam had asked me a question, and they had asked me, have you had particular odd or unexpected success? And I think right now, any of it is odd and unexpected. I had, this more traditional idea of how I wanted to launch my business with a soft opening and a grand opening and giveaways in store and food and drinks. And now it's really forced me to think outside the box and let go of that idea and focus on other things, and there's silver linings. And I think that, it's been really difficult. I have nothing to compare it to. I don't know if I'm doing better than I would have or worse or about the same. I have no idea. But what I do know is that my exposure and how I'm launching my business looks a little bit different, and I think it's very unique. And with that, I've gotten other exposure through CFJC did a story on businesses struggling through the pandemic, and featured my business, which was neat because I was able to then now people walking by the store, popping by while my door is open and telling me that they saw me on the news. But I think more importantly, now more than ever, people see how important it is to support their local businesses. And, you know, it's nice to be able to drive by and pick it up. I picked up something from Jardines last week, and it's nice to see people and support them. And I think it's become more personal for everyone, seeing what's going on and seeing the businesses close down. And, you know, I think, like Anthony mentioned, you know, Nordstrom's, the Bay, Aritzia is going to be fine through this. I have no doubt, but that brings nothing to our community in Kamloops. So I think it is extremely important to support those people, and those are the people that we know and we see and we love every day and are giving back to our community.
They get to be a little bit weird, and we can really appreciate it because it means we're all human, and it's so nice to be known as a person and not just another person through the door. So yeah, totally, for all of our local businesses, I think it's a fantastic way to show that you're just people as well, and it's great. Thank you so much, Emily. I really appreciate you speaking with us today. So we have these resources. They'll be available as links in a PDF, which I'll share with everybody. Because we're running a little short on time because we all want to talk, we're going to just go straight to the question and answer period here. Samantha, I think you're unmuted. Excellent. Do you have any questions that came through that we should address?
Yes, I did have a question, 2 questions for Jessie that came through. Luis Gomez wanted to know whether you'll talk more about Google Pixels and all of that in the webinars to come. Could you address that a little bit?
Yes, Google Pixel and, Google Analytics and Facebook Pixel are so incredibly important. I know Emily just touched on the ability to track people. There's a reason why Facebook is in the news so often, because it is pretty outrageous what we're able to do on our side, but it's so great for businesses to see how people are moving through your website, to see where they're coming from, if it's mobile, if it's through a desktop. It's so important to see, you know, how they enter your website, what pages they're spending most of their time on. If they're leaving on certain pages, you know, that can be triggers for you to switch things up on your website. It's so important, and so we'll definitely touch base on that in future webinars. Absolutely.
Also, could you talk a little bit about the swipe up option in Instagram for businesses? Dawn and Christine would like some information on that.
Yeah, I mean, Anthony probably uses it more than I use it. Most of my links up are like to ridiculous videos or more entertainment, whereas Anthony utilizes swipe up. Even on his page right now is just checking. If you go to Jardines_Domaine, you'll see a couple swipe up features on Instagram. If you go on mine, my last post was just a swipe up to this Zoom. So it doesn't have to be completely business related. It can be to other pages. You can show love to other companies. It's super useful. For those that don't have 10,000 or more, you can get the swipe up feature. It's just an ad. So it's like running any other ad through your story on Instagram. It acts almost identical. And the same feature, it's a swipe up. And so it's just super important to use. I think it's so quick, it's seamless, it's frictionless, and it's definitely a great way to go about pushing your product.
Thank you, Jesse. Last thing, Yvonne Reddick says, thank you for the fabulous information and presentations, Jesse, Anthony, and Emily. So thank you. And I'm done with the question round.
Fantastic. I'm sure there's other questions that will come up. Feel free to email us and we can direct the questions and find you some answers, and I'll make sure that we all get a link, all those links to the resources as well.
And sorry to jump in here. I did see Louise asked if that was the mayor, and that is the mayor in that GIF. If you want to see him in action, you just look up 9th Kamloops or Kamloops Hunk on the GIF or Giphy. And that was a tour that the mayor did. He was a great sport. It was a half an hour tour around Kamloops. We created a ton of social content. So if you want to see more of that, just let me know, because we've got some great content to the mayor.
Thank you. Thanks, Jesse. So we have another little poll just of how we did, and hopefully how we can do some more for you. Feel free to participate. And this one doesn't ask you if you're in your pajamas. We asked at the beginning. We all know how we are hiding it, so that's cool. It's going to be a whole new way of running business. We might have to have like COVID Fridays where it's all just pajamas or something. So, anyways, we've got, we'll share this poll. So that's fantastic results from you guys. Thank you very much. To be able to see that what we're doing is useful, we'll make sure we do some more. And so now into the downtown highlights. Thank you very much, Carl. This is for you. I have to make
okay,
sure.
I recognize that we are running a little bit later, but that's a testament to how important this information is for everybody. But I'll just change the direction I was going to go a little bit. First of all, I want to talk about Jesse and the mayor. I'm personally aware of some of the feedback the mayor provided about his experience working with Jesse and some of the social media and digital marketing for an event that he participated in last year. And he had a lot of fun doing it. He is a really good sport. Our downtown right now may not appear quite as lively, but rest assured, we are very much alive. Businesses are alive. One of my key messages when speaking about our business community downtown has always been the bricks before the clicks. But we are resilient and regularly adapting to current challenges, such as we're seeing right now with COVID. Success depends on it. Now more than ever, it is essential to focus on your personal identity and brands. Business branding is going to be so important as we navigate through and continue on the other side of the COVID. I recognize that digital marketing is outside of the comfort level of many of us, myself included. Just ask Samantha. Anthony joked about that. I heard him say that it wasn't in his vocabulary to have a website, and I'm sure that comment resonated with many of us. But digital is a remarkable resource for marketing and for supporting each of your businesses. It's also an effective tool to enhance connectivity and business relationships. I can share with you that just since this COVID outbreak has impacted many businesses and we're working from home, I've been involved in many Zoom meetings just like this, regular basis, almost every day. With YKA Strong. You've probably heard about that initiative throughout our city that we've been participating in. The BIABC Board of Directors, which I'm part of, we meet regularly to talk about some of the challenges at the provincial level and how we can advocate on behalf of businesses to the provincial and federal governments. And those meetings are all just like this is right now. And next week, for the first time ever, the KCBIA will be offering our AGM virtually on Zoom. It won't be quite as dynamic as we've done in the past, obviously, but that we're just going to do that because it's just a sign of the times. There are so many success stories out there right now, you guys, and so many things that just make my heart so proud of what we're doing as a business community and what you're doing as individuals to contribute and give back. And you know what, I don't want to miss anybody, so I'll just stop there. But I do want to thank each of you for taking time out of your day to participate today. Provide us with the feedback, and hopefully we can continue to do these and address topics that are of utmost importance to each of you. Anthony, Emily, and Jesse, thank you very much for presenting and everything that you brought to this group today. It was so important. And of course, Christine for facilitating, and Christine and Sam for putting this together on behalf of the KCBIA. Please stay healthy and stay connected to us. We value your information. And Christine, you're muted.
There we go. Thanks everyone for joining. I'm sure a few people would be happy that I'm muted, but so anyways, this will be available as a PDF to have all those links that we went through really quickly. And please let me know in an email to admin@downtownkamloops.com if we can have any suggestions or any way that we can improve this experience for you guys. We'd really, really appreciate you all coming. And I guess that's it. Let's go have coffee. All right. Thank you all very much. Bye.
Did you offer up the newsletter, Christine? I missed that one. I'm sorry.
Oh, yes. So if you want to find out more of what is happening downtown and all the good news stories, you can sign up on our website for our newsletter. Thank you all.